Good morning, everyone. Let's get started. Good morning. Good morning. 9 a.m.
Pretty early in the week to be asleep. So I'm Paul Mayfield. I lead a program management team for Microsoft Intune.
And I'm Terrell Cox. I lead the other half of the program management team for Intune.
Yeah. And I know what you're all thinking in the audience. These two must be related because they look so alike. But in fact, we're not.
The number of times people have called me Paul Mayfield, if only I had $1, you wouldn't believe.
So we've been together since I think about 2013 on the project.
Yeah.
And a lot has changed in that time. So if you'll remember kind of back to 2013, that was a time when an aspiring artist from South Korea had just given us Gangnam Style. And
Classic.
Satya Nadella was not yet the CEO of Microsoft. He was about to step in and take the helm. Do folks remember what the first product announcement was that Satya made as CEO? It was Office on iOS and Android. And a little bit of a lesser known fact about that announcement, he also announced at that time the Enterprise Mobility Suite, which had not existed to that point. And the idea behind the Enterprise Mobility Suite is that it would bring Azure Active Directory, Microsoft Intune together and provide the identity and the management and the protection for Office 365, which was now available cross-platform, and that would provide the productivity experience for the end users. So at the time when we were launching EMS and we were launching iOS Office, Intune was a bit of a tough sell because it was a cloud platform play. The state of the art for mobile device management was to have a gateway that sat between the internet and the intranet and that would grant access to all the corporate assets that were generally within a perimeter. Since that time, so when we would go talk to customers in 2013, 2014, we would hear, "We love your vision. It's a little bit, we don't know that we're comfortable going into the cloud yet." And you fast forward to 2018, it's a completely different story. Things like GDPR had not even been on the radar for customers and for vendors at that time. It's amazing to think such a transformation of our industry has happened in the course of around 5 years, and we've had to adapt our product strategy and our products to deal with that reality. Thankfully, we planned for a cloud play from the beginning, and that's really paid off. But we have merged to the point now where we have Intune and what we call Microsoft 365 Flexible Device Management across a whole number of scenarios and personas. So we have one offering, which we sell per user, which is for knowledge workers. It's people's laptops and phones. It's kind of the bread and butter of what has traditionally been EMM. And we offer that as part of Microsoft 365. That includes the rights both to Intune and Config Manager, by the way. We have a version for first-line workers, where, again, on a per-user basis, we sell the productivity experience for first-line workers and then the management and the identity and the protection that goes with it. That's in Microsoft 365 F1. We also have an offering for SMB. So for smaller customers that have the Microsoft 365 Business subscription, they have built-in Intune experiences to protect their Office use on mobile and on Windows, as well as manage the devices, configure them, and et cetera. And then finally, we have launched a version specifically for education, where a teacher in a K-12 environment can provision iOS, Windows, Android devices and use them in a classroom environment with the Microsoft for Education offering. So across the board, we have adapted to a whole bunch of different segments, and we have a pretty complete offering for management. As a result, one thing I did want to mention, we have coming soon an Intune device license. So everything I just told you about those different segments for knowledge workers, first-line workers, SMB, those are all user licenses that cover the devices that an employer or an end user might use. That's not necessarily the best way to consume this technology if you're trying to deploy something like a digital sign or a B2C kiosk or something like that. So we have a new device license that will be coming soon to our price list that will be inexpensive. It will allow deploying things to specific devices. You won't be able to assign policies and apps and things like that to users. But the intention here is to enable you to take the per-user licenses that you're purchasing to deploy for your information workers and your first-line workers, and be able to supplement that with the licenses that would be necessary for things like digital signs. Okay? That's coming soon. So we have seen fantastic momentum. I mean, this business really is on fire. We're growing incredibly fast. We're even growing on the SCCM side of the business as well. Between Intune and SCCM, we're up above 150 million devices worldwide being managed. Intune is tens of millions in that set as well. We have over 85,000 paying customers. We're showing up as a leader in the different rankings that come from the analysts. So we're really excited about the momentum, and we see this transformation from 2013, when the cloud was something that was, maybe going to be accommodated, to 2018, where everybody has this as part of their core value. And when you see what we're doing, it's more and more about the cloud all the time. We also have a number of partners in the ecosystem. Here's a few categories named. This is not a comprehensive list, but across mobile threat defense, being able to tell us that we have a device that is showing a risk signal. What should we do about that? Secure resource access, where you can integrate your network access control with your application control that comes from Microsoft 365. And then management partners, where we can do things. We'll talk about our partnership with Jamf a little bit later when we talk about Mac devices. We also have several partners out there that are building Intune technology and EMS technology directly into their mobile applications. So these are the things that will let you take your Office 365 data, which has been protected and secured by Intune, and share it with other mobile applications in a way that you as IT are able to maintain control of your corporate data. So just have a ton of innovation, a lot of market momentum. We're really excited about the next coming year, and we have a lot to share with you about the highlights of what is lighting up as part of this conference here at Ignite. So to take a step back, Intune and Config Manager are the two management offerings that are part of this, that are part of Microsoft 365. We'll focus more on Intune in this session because we also have a Config Manager overview. But I want to mention that we have brought these two technologies together. We engineer them in the same engineering team. And we have worked out a set of scenarios that make the most productive experience for your end users, the most secure environment for the corporation, and the simplest way to get things together. And we're going to walk through how we've kind of brought these products together. In fact, let me see if I can walk you through some of the things that you get sort of traditionally with SCCM, and then adding Intune to that in the following way. So what Config Manager did a great job for with Windows in the past was OS deployment, Win32 app management, configuration management, the things you see listed here. If you then take your Config Manager deployment and attach it to the Microsoft 365 cloud, and what we mean by that is we have a new functionality we call co-management. We'll be showing you in other breakout sessions how with 4 clicks of a mouse, you can actually enable co-management across your environment for your existing Config Manager devices. Doesn't require any enrollment action by your end users. You just go to the Config Manager console, say you want to co-manage your devices. That attaches that Config Manager deployment to the cloud, and it gives you a whole set of new scenarios. You get unified endpoint management, where you can bring Windows, iOS, and Mac together. You get modern access control. Your Windows devices that are being managed even by Config Manager can be assessed for compliance by Intune, and can automatically get removed access from things like corporate email or third-party SaaS applications if they're not compliant. You can take part in modern provisioning. We'll be demoing and talking about this later in the session. This is where you can set up a first boot experience where your Windows device, as it goes through the out-of-box experience, prompts the user for your corporate credential. After that's been entered, provisions it with all the apps and settings, and gets it all ready to go. You get a whole set of modern security technologies that come together, including a secure score, which you'll hear all about at Ignite conference for your Windows devices. You'll have new policy options. We're going to talk about our security baselines functionality and some options we're giving you to migrate away from GP if you want to, or accommodate GP if you want to. You'll have a whole access to modern applications, VPP scenarios, cross-platform, accessing apps from the stores. And then finally, the full integration with the Microsoft 365 stack. So if you saw Brad Anderson's keynote yesterday, you know there was a whole set of workflows around upgrading your devices using desktop analytics, the flows where you can determine which devices are ready for upgrade and automatically create groups and roll out an upgrade to those devices that are known to be safe to upgrade. That comes from attaching your config manager deployment to the cloud. But I wanted to mention also that if you're a customer who maybe you're not using config manager, maybe you're ready to go make the break and go to a complete cloud-only deployment, all of the options that we talked about are also available to you, with the exception of the traditional OS deployment. You'll provision things in the modern way if you're coming from the cloud. But we have a full set of Win32, rich Win32 app management functionality coming to Intune. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the presentation. A whole set of things for configuration management that weren't there before, but we feel like we have a place now where Intune is a viable enterprise-ready Windows management solution, and we'll talk about that during the show. So with that, let's show you an example of how we've brought all of the value together from the cloud. For that, I'm going to welcome to the stage Shiv Patel from our team, who's going to run some of the demo work here.
Thanks, Shiv.
Hi, Shiv. And what we're going to show you is how we've brought together a set of value from the Microsoft 365 cloud by integrating our cloud services together. So this video that Shiv is playing is showing you a detonation of malware that we've done inside a lab. The scenario here was an end user that had an unpatched machine, was downloading a malicious attachment, opens the attachment, and the attachment goes through a series of attacks that result in an escalation of privilege happening on the device. Meanwhile, this text you see scrolling on the left side of the screen is the attacker's console, where you can see the signals coming from these clients, and this device is starting to be botnetted. If you go over into the Windows Defender ATP console in the Security Center, we have a set of experiences that we developed for SecOps. And if we click into Jonathan's machine, that was the one that was detonating in the chamber, you can see that our signals in the cloud and the AI that we've brought to security has identified a whole sequence of events that are suspicious about that detonation. And in particular, there's a red one highlighted as a high security incident, as a high impact incident. This is the point at which the process was able to elevate its privilege on the device. So you could say it's pretty great that we were able to show a device getting compromised and be able to detect in the cloud by pulling our signals together that a high security incident was happening. But we're able to do more because we have additional assets in that Microsoft 365 cloud. So if we go over to the Intune section of the Microsoft 365 console now, you'll see that we can create what we call device compliance policy. And Shiv will give this a name, and we'll pick the Windows 10 platform for this policy. And what we're going to do here is define what does it mean to be compliant with corporate standards to be considered a viable device on this network. So one of the options we have here is Windows Defender ATP. He'll select that. And then you'll see we have here the drop-down that lets us say, what if Defender tells us that we've noticed a low, medium, or high risk? Well, if we saw a high risk on this device, we can select that, and we can press OK. Then that will create this policy that has this default action in place that we won't customize in the interest of time here, but that would immediately mark the device non-compliant. So by marking that device non-compliant, what will happen is Defender ATP will signal there's been a risk. Intune will mark the device non-compliant. The Azure Active Directory now has a conditional access policy that says when a device isn't compliant with our standards, it should not get access to corporate resources, and will shut off automatically the device's access to email and other corporate resources. So as you see, we've pulled the intelligence together across our Microsoft cloud to bring value to a Windows device that might have been traditionally an on-premise asset. And just really quickly, if we were to change that platform to, say, Android instead of Windows, we still have an option where under device health, we can drop down and see that we were able to take signals In this case, Defender ATP may not be running on that Android device, but other mobile threat detection vendors who are our partners would be, and they can send us similar signals. So across iOS, Android, Windows, Mac, we're able to take these signals and then automate the access control to your environment. So thanks, Shiv. So that gives you an idea of how we've brought together the value in the Microsoft 365 cloud. This pattern of us innovating in the cloud and attaching that value to your existing deployments or allowing you to manage entirely out of the cloud is where we're putting all of our investment moving forward. And we have not just integrated the infrastructure, but we're integrating the IT experience as well. So in the past, we had many different consoles that would configure the different parts of Microsoft 365. We are talking all at this conference about the new Microsoft 365 Admin Center. The Admin Center will have exactly 7 navigation points on it. You see them listed there, but one of them is for security. That's where you'd see your Security Center ATP thing that we showed. Another one is device management. We call it the Device Management Admin Center. It's devicemanagement.microsoft.com. We're putting all of the Microsoft offerings that accrue to device management together in that one experience. So Intune, Autopilot, Analytics, the integration with co-management and config manager, that's all going to light up in the device management portal. You don't have to know about several different portals to go to if your job is the endpoint user compute team, right? And so just to give you an idea, here is what you'll see if you went to admin.microsoft.com. This is the central hub for the Microsoft Admin Center. And the left nav there is highlighted for device management. That would click you into an example of a dashboard you would see that brings together all of the device management offerings in Microsoft 365 together. When you attach your config manager deployment to the Microsoft 365 cloud, all of those config manager managed PCs show up in this experience, and you can start to operate on them. And for the rest of this session, we're going to drill into some of the specific technologies and workflows we've brought into this experience across the different platforms. So to start with that, Tara will walk us through the iOS.
Great, thanks so much, Paul. So before I start talking about iOS, I find it helpful to sort of ground how we think about the different deployment scenarios for mobile platforms like iOS and Android. Typically, Apple and Google talk about these in 2 buckets. There's BYOD deployment scenarios, which is really about an end user bringing their personal device in to do some level of work, corporate level tasks. Or there's the corporate-owned scenario, which would mean that you, your IT organization, is procuring, provisioning, and deploying devices to your end users so that they can work leveraging a corporate-owned device. For iOS, there's 3 different specific types of scenarios that Intune supports in these categories. For BYOD, we have 2 scenarios. We'll start off with the simplest version of this, which is where we leverage our app protection policies technology. And this enables you to protect your corporate data to manage at the app level without actually needing to enroll the entire device. This is a great option for you if you are in a BYOD situation. You don't need to do any complex configuration. You simply want to make sure that your corporate data is protected. This works for all Microsoft apps in addition to third-party apps that have integrated with the Intune SDK and LOBs that have either leveraged the SDK or are using our app wrapper tool. There's also, you can enroll this device for management using iOS MDM. This is a great solution for you if you want to do additional configurations. For example, you want to publish apps to these devices. You want to push a Wi-Fi profile. You need to do some additional level of control and configuration of these devices. The third option is for more locked down situations when you need more command and control of that device. And typically we find that this is for corporate owned. Now I'll be honest, when this may be the way Apple talks about these scenarios, BYOD versus corp owned, and really what they intended and designed this technology for. But in the real world, we see customers picking and choosing between these scenarios just to meet their needs. So don't feel like you have to, follow the rules exactly, do what works best for you, right? So in the corporate-owned scenario where you're leveraging supervised mode to configure, deploy, and enroll this device, you can take advantage of programs such as VPP, DEP, Apple School Manager, or Apple Business Manager. And this is a great option. You should really look at this if you're planning on deploying any kiosk devices, or if you are deploying devices for a classroom, for example, and you really want to make sure that that device is locked down and the students aren't going to be changing the different settings on it. So speaking of DEP enrollment, one of the pieces of feedback that we've heard from customers is that, oh, this is great. I can really get everything deployed. It's super simple for my end users to get their device up and running. But I have additional security needs. I need to use modern auth. I need to use multi-factor authentication. Particularly, we hear this from customers in the financial segment. And one of the challenges with the flow that we have with Apple was that when you first log on to DEP, we couldn't actually do multi-factor authentication as part of that first logon. But now we can. So the way this process will work is you get the device set up. The first time that your end user starts the device up, the company portal, the Intune company portal, will be downloaded. The user will authenticate, will log on using the company portal, and at that point, the authentication policies that you defined in Azure Active Directory kick in. So if you're requiring modern auth, if you're requiring multi-factor authentication, whatever the policy that you put into place will be required before they can ever access the device. If you went to the keynotes yesterday, you know that one of the primary values that we are delivering with M365 is to empower our end users, to give them the best possible experience to bring out their creativity. And I'll tell you, as part of Intune, we don't think that just applies to productivity apps. I love the Office apps, don't get me wrong, but I think that management apps need to look good too. And so I'm really proud of the great work that our team has done over the last few months to give a complete facelift to the iOS company portal. And based on the feedback we're hearing from end users, they agree. Our App Store ratings are through the roof, especially compared to other options that you might be considering. And we feel that the facelift that we've given it puts it more in line with the other apps that Microsoft is delivering. So it feels like it's one suite of products. So let me tell you a few other of the highlights of what's new for iOS. One of the things that we've heard from customers is, oh, well, I do a lot of mergers and acquisitions. We use DEP, we love DEP, but what if I have multiple DEP accounts? Well, we now have support for that. So multi-token enrollment is available. You can manage and delay iOS updates. I know this has been a pain point for folks, especially when they're trying to leverage Compat. Make sure that Compat is ready before the update goes out. You can do email account provisioning for Outlook, not just for your native email client. You can leverage Outlook for this as well. And as a quick segue, let's talk a little bit about managed browser. Take a quick sip of water. So the managed browser, love the managed browser, don't you? Well, let's be honest, it gets the job done. So this is part of the offering that Intune has to make sure that it's part of our data protection solution. So you deploy the managed browser in the situation where you want to protect corporate data. A user wants to be able to click on a URL in corporate email or corporate document, and they need to be able to launch out, and you want to make sure that you can apply, say, cut, copy, paste restrictions on that data. It's manageable. You can configure it. But, when it comes to actual browsing, it leaves something to be desired. I don't think anybody uses this as their mainline browser, right? Don't be ashamed to admit it if you actually are. That's okay. So, but Microsoft, our premier browser is Microsoft Edge, which is available on iOS and Android. And I'm delighted to share that it is now enterprise ready. We have parity from a security and manageability standpoint with the managed browser. You can do conditional access. You can do app protection policies, single sign-on, separation of personal corporate identities. You can block sites. You can manage the favorites. It is ready for you to use, and your users are going to be so much happier with the browsing experience. We'll continue to support the managed browser if you already have it deployed. Don't feel like you need to rush back, but definitely from a user experience standpoint, Microsoft Edge is the way to go. So let me show you a little bit about how this works. Okay, so in the console, these are the two settings that I'm going to be sharing for my demo. So you create an app protection policy. I have configured it such that it will restrict cut, copy, paste access. That's an easy thing to demo to really highlight that the policy's in place. And then the second line that is highlighted is restricting web content to policy-managed browsers. This used to say the Intune managed browser. Now we've opened it up to include Edge as well. Let me switch over to my demo device. Great. Okay, so I am using Outlook. And as you know, well, I have a man protection put in place, so let me unlock it. As you know, one of the benefits of Outlook is that I can view both my personal and my corporate email all in the same app. Right now, I have this open to my, that's not what I wanted to do. I have this open to my personal email, so you see Outlook.com, and yeah, I'm something of a Red Sox fan, so following that. But we're here to do work, so I am going to open up an email from a colleague of mine who sent me a URL to learn some more about Ignite. So I'm in my personal context right now. When I click that link, it is opening up Safari, as you can see. Wi-Fi is a little slow. All right, so let me switch back to, wow, that's really slow. All right, I'm gonna switch back to Outlook, and let me go into my corporate context. So as you can see, this is my manpm.onmicrosoft.com account. This is my work account. I have a very similar email from my colleague, Peter. I'm going to click that link and notice that it is opening up automatically in Edge. Yeah. Oh, hey, there it goes. Okay, so, and I'm just gonna do a quick cut, copy, paste comparison so you can see that the MAM policy is actually being honored. So coming from Edge, I'm gonna switch over to the Notes app, which is not a managed app. It is not protected under policy. I'm going to paste that information, and as you can see, it says your organization's data cannot be pasted here. If I were to do that from Safari, it would actually paste the information into the Notes app. Right. Thanks. Excellent. Wow, we're off to a good start. Okay, so let's go from iOS to Android. And I was using the Edge app as kind of a bridge there because it's supported on both platforms. On the Android aspect of Intune, let's talk a little bit about Android Enterprise. Those of you who have been managing Android devices for a while have been on this journey with us as well. Pre-Lollipop, so prior to Android 5, the main way of managing an Android device was via device admin, or what's now called legacy management. And it left something to be desired. From a management capability, the management was limited, the end user experience was jarring. They got a lot of really scary pop-ups that we heard complaints about. And there were also some real gaps in terms of security. So you were open to attack from malware because apps were installed from unknown sources. And as we know, there were some issues around fragmentation because different OEMs had their own flavors of Android, which made it really difficult for people to manage. Starting with Lollipop, Android has really been investing in their enterprise solutions to make it more manageable, to make it more secure. So they introduced what was called work profiles with Android 5, and they've been investing ever since. With work profiles, this enables you to really create a protected container, and then through the course of the releases since then, with Android 9 or Android P coming out most recently, they've been progressing towards basically deprecating the device admin legacy style management. This was announced with Android P. The APIs for managing legacy style will be removed next year in the Android Q release. And this is something you need to start planning for. Any devices that are upgraded to Android Q or that you purchase via Android Q, you can no longer manage via the legacy device admin aspect. And the thing I want you to hear and take away is don't freak out. We're committed. We're supporting across all of the different scenarios, so let me drill into them. So as I was talking about with iOS, there's BYOD scenarios and there's corp-owned scenarios. On the BYOD side, we have, you can use app protection policies to manage at the app level. You don't have to enroll the device. This is cross-platform. It works very similarly to iOS. The option that's provided by Android Enterprise is the work profile. And this is where you can create a container on an end user's device that you control. You protect the data in that container. You can deploy apps to it. You can do some lightweight configuration of that container. And when you're thinking about which one of these scenarios is right for you, the app protection policies is great if all you need to do is protect your data on a set of apps, Microsoft apps, LOBs, third parties with our SDK. But if you need to do some additional things, for example, you want to push apps to the device, or you need to do some Wi-Fi settings, work profiles would be a good choice for you. In the corporate-owned scenario, we've, in the last few months, really excited, we delivered what is called the Android Enterprise dedicated device, or a kiosk mode is probably the easiest way. Those of you who are real Google fans, they were calling this COSU, so corporate-owned single use, but that really wasn't describing the full range of capabilities for this scenario, because you can actually lock the device down to a set of multiple uses, but you decide that. You put it into the context, and the end user can't change that. Preview later this year, we will have support for fully managed. So this is where it's a corporate-owned device. You have complete control over that device. The end user can't change the settings unless you want to let them. So let me give you a quick demo of the simplicity of enrolling a device and deploying a dedicated Android device. So one of the options in all the different enrollment options that we have for Intune, you can create a token, you can create a QR code. And this is a great option for you, especially if you have, say, branch offices, or you have someone who's not really in your IT organization, and they're going to do some they're the ones that are receiving the devices, and they need to finish up the setup and enrollment of that device, but you don't want them to actually have access. So in your admin console, what you'll do is you will create an enrollment profile for a kiosk and task device, and say that you want to leverage a QR code or a token. And this is what it looks like. And I am going to show you a device that's already in lockdown mode. We're going to do a little bit of a Martha Stewart on this. In the interest of time. So here's a device that I have already configured as a dedicated device, and it's locked down to only having Excel and Power and Word on it. As you can see, I can't get to any settings. I can't really get to anything else, but it will let me get to the apps that I have access to. So this device, lovely Samsung Galaxy Note device, I'm going to go through the configuration of it. I have already kick-started this process. So the beginning of it is I booted it up, I attached it to Wi-Fi network, and it goes through a series of checking for OS updates, which takes about 2 minutes. I timed it last night, but I figure you don't want to just sit here and watch connection to Google Managed Services for 2 minutes. So I went ahead and skipped to this part. The next step in enrolling this device is I'm going to scan a QR code, which I have right here. Ta-da. So I'm going to hit next. And see if this works. There it goes. It's checking the code, updating the device, registering the device. And in a few seconds, you'll see that it's already enrolled. Ta-da. Done. So over the course of the next few minutes, what it's going to do is it's going to download the apps that I provisioned to this device, and then the user can start using it. Thanks. All right. We've done iOS. We've done Android. Well, we haven't finished Android. What? There's more stuff. Okay, so more value for Android. We now support Google Play Protect as part of your compliance policy. I showed you some of the quick and easy ways we do enrollment. We have full support for zero-touch enrollment. We've also added support for Samsung Knox mobile enrollment, which is a great, I'm on the wrong thing, aren't I? Whoop. You want to see this list, don't you? Okay, so which is a great solution for those of you using Samsung Knox devices. One of the pieces of feedback that we've heard from customers is around Office apps in the work profile. So as I mentioned earlier, one of the great things about Office apps is that you can switch back and forth between personal and corporate identities. But when the apps are installed into the work profile on an Android device, the user experience can be a little bit confusing for people. Because although when you're using app protection policies, we do the right thing in terms of data protection on the personal aspect, the personal identity within the work profile, it's a little unexpected for a user to see a personal identity when they're in a corporate context. So you can now use app config to lock down those apps such that they can only be used with a single corporate identity, and this will be an improvement to your user experience. All right. Let's move on to Mac OS. So when it comes to Mac management, Intune offers two options for you. If you have an environment where you have a set of Macs, they're part of your estate, and you want to do more of a modern management style leveraging the MDM platform, what Intune offers today is a great solution for you. This would be if you want to deploy some certs, you need to do some password configuration, you want to deploy apps, we have support for that too. We also have support for DEP enrollment for Mac. But if you are one of those customers who is already using Jamf, which I know a number of you are, or you're a full Mac shop and you really need that command and control capability that Jamf offers for things such as scripting or really extensive inventory, deep tissue configuration, then you can get the best of Jamf integrated with the best of EMS. And let me show you a little bit about how that works. I'm going to go ahead and build this slide out. I don't want to leave you hanging on the reveal here. All right. So basically, your Mac devices will be managed by Jamf, but they will be registered with Intune. And what this enables the two products to do through the deep integration that we've done is you're going to leverage Intune for compliance. When the user logs onto that device, Jamf is going to be managing it, ensuring that the configuration is right on, and it will check in with the Intune service to determine whether or not the device is compliant. Intune goes through, checks the compliance policy, registers in with Azure Active Directory to go, yep, the device is healthy, or no, actually it's not. Based on that information, Azure Active Directory will grant access to the resources. If the device is healthy, the user gets pushed through and can get started, get working. If for some reason the device is not healthy, then the experience that you've seen on the other platforms where we prompt and we say, hey, there's some issues here, we need to help you get your device back into a healthy state, the user will be put through some remediation steps, and once the device is healthy, they can get back to work. So a couple of quick announcements on things that we've recently released around Mac. As I mentioned, you can now do app deployments for PKG files, so this would be Office 365 as well as LOBs. We're always adding new payloads and settings to Mac OS support, so device management policy payload is a recent example. Another investment that we've made is around remote actions, so you can do remote wipe and remote lock of your devices as well. So with that, I'm going to hand it back to Paul, and you're going to learn more about what's happening on Windows.
Okay, great. All right, so we've covered iOS, Android, Edge browser, Mac. We're just going to take you through a little tour of our console to show you some of the highlights for Windows 10 management that are recently showing up for Intune. So with that, we will start by showing you the Win32 app management feature. We have here the section of the Microsoft 365 console that is the app catalog. This is where you can enter the apps that you want to deploy out to your users. Let's add an app type here, and from the drop-down, we'll select at the very bottom this new Windows app Win32 feature. Click on that. So first we'll need to select a file, and Shiv's going to go pull out a package we have created for the Adobe Reader. If you see that Intune Win extension, what that is we support multi-file installation, MSI, EXE, CAB files. So we have a tool that will package that into a single file that you can encrypt and upload into the cloud. And that's what Shiv is uploading right now. Once you have that, you can configure information about the application, give it a name for your deployment, a description. This is what your users can see in the company portal. And we'll fill in the publisher there as well. Once that's been saved off, we can go configure the program settings. This is where you put in your custom scripts for how to install and how to uninstall the Win32 app. We'll leave the defaults that we already have in the package there. You can then go and say what devices are supposed to receive this app. So if you want to say that it's only going to go to a 32-bit machine or to a 64-bit machine, you could do that. If you want to say this is only for 1709 and higher, you can put that there. So some applicability rules, disk space requirements, all that sort of thing. You can go into your detection rules. Now the detection rules are for being able to configure how to know that that app is installed. So when we do an inventory of the device and we reflect back that the app is there, these detection rules do that. So we're going to enter in, go ahead, Shiv, and the settings that you would put in just to determine this app has been installed by the presence of an MSI, really simple thing. But you can get very complex with these rules if you want to. And we know that customers have a lot of complexity in some of these detection rules, so we support those. Finally, you can configure the return codes. How do you know if the app needed a reboot? How do you know if the app unsuccessfully attempted to install? Those are the sorts of things that you then have available here as well. So you can get a sense now for the richness of the support for Win32 apps because you have all of these options that you can configure as part of adding the app to the catalog. Once the app has been added to the catalog, you can then assign it to groups of users across the environment. You can say that you want it to be a required installation or an optional installation that a user can download from the company portal. Okay? So that's a quick preview of the Win32 app functionality. We have breakout sessions later in the conference that will go into gory details on all of this. I want to switch over and say the most important app, or one of the most popular apps that everyone wants to get out deployed, is Office. We have some first-class experiences for deploying Office Pro Plus with Intune. I want to highlight those. For those of you that were able to see some of the keynotes yesterday, you saw all of the great new functionality that's coming in the Pro Plus versions of the Office desktop apps. Things like being able to roam the clipboard and that sort of thing. So inside of Intune, again, when we go to add an app, the drop-down will give us a very specific option to deploy Windows 10 Office Pro Plus as an app. If we select that, there are a few settings we can go in and configure. Like we can say, well, let's not deploy Skype for Business in this instance, and then let's go name the suite. We could name it, this is the version of Office that doesn't include Skype, or this is for the sales team or whatever. Give it a description. Once that's been filled in, then we'll go back and configure some of the important settings about Office Pro Plus, like how is it going to get updated. So we can pick, we want to use the semi-annual channel, for example, and that will cause this to automatically get updated on that cadence. You could then decide, do you want to uninstall the MSI version of Office if it was present? Do you want 32, 64 bits? So you've got a bunch of options on how Office Pro Plus gets deployed. But once you've kind of selected these options, you're good to go. You hit OK here. You've now created that instance of Office 365 Pro Plus in your catalog, and it's ready to go out and be assigned to all of your users as well. So that kind of gives you an idea on the app management side of things, Win32 apps, Office Pro Plus. Let's talk about configuration management for a little bit. Historically, some of the concerns we've heard from customers about using the MDM stack in Windows for configuring Windows is that it had a lot of important settings, but not enough for what was needed to be configured in the environment. So I want to show you a few things. First, if we were to create a configuration profile here, let's give it a name and a description, and we'll pick Windows 10 as our platform. There are now, we have exploded the number of settings that are possible through the MDM system. Across these categories, there are dozens of settings in each one of these things. We're going to pick out endpoint protection here because that happens to include a number of settings that were previously only available from group policy, things like configuring your firewall rules, configuring BitLocker, and et cetera. Let's then say, that's great. We've got now more settings, but some complicated apps may have thousands of settings that they're supported today. For example, the Office desktop apps support many, many settings in the registry. So to handle this long tail of thousands of apps, we have introduced this new administrative templates profile type. And what this is taking the ADMX infrastructure from group policy and making it possible to deploy through MDM. So we have put in here already several things for Office. In fact, if we were to scroll down this list, it's hundreds of settings. If we go up to the top and just search out of it, we can search for something like Outlook, and we can pick any one of those settings. Go ahead and pick one, Shiv. So this is the permanently remove all deleted content from the PST and OST files. You see the description from the ADMX there. You can configure it, enable, disabled, off. So this is the way that you'll be able to get the application and OS-specific settings across all that GP to be able to be deployed as a configuration profile to complement what's available in the MDM stack and give you full experience. But wait, there's more, because in addition to having coverage for all of those settings, we now give you a new capability we call security baselines that we'll click over to. The idea behind security baselines is for a number of those settings, Microsoft has recommendations for what they ought to be. Because working with some of our largest customers, including in the public sector, we have identified things that are good to set in order to have a secure, compliant deployment of Windows. We're now making those recommendations available just dynamically in the console on an ongoing basis. So this first one that we've lit up here, we'll click on it, and it's going to give you the ability to create a device configuration profile, just like we were before. But this is a little bit different. We'll show you how. So let's name this the baseline for the US or something like that. And then if you look at the actual settings, it breaks out into all these categories. And underneath this are the hundreds of settings recommendations that we have made as Microsoft. Then Shiv, go ahead and pick one of those. So here's Windows Defender. You can scroll down and see some of the default settings that we recommend to have a good compliant Defender deployment. You can go in and you could change one of these. So we're changing here the scan removable drives during a full scan. Let's say normally we would recommend that you scan USB content for vulnerabilities, right? If in your environment for some reason that was not appropriate, you could go change the recommended setting to what you need in your environment. You see it gets colored differently. You can then say create. And what we're doing is creating the configuration profile that includes all the recommended settings plus the one that you just changed for your environment. And if you want to go back in and see how did I deviate from what the recommended setting was, when you open up the security baseline in the future, you'll see that difference, right? So we feel that across having this larger set of settings that are available just in MDM, by having the ADMX infrastructure allow you to cover the long tail, and then allowing you to have security baselines bring the recommended settings into your console, we have a pretty comprehensive story for configuration management. And the cool thing about this is that when you're using the system to do configuration management, it's a little different from GP where you just kind of set the value and you deploy it out. You'll be able to report back on what settings have gone to which devices, and you'll be able to monitor the drift and the compliance. And eventually you'll tie that into your conditional access system as well. So that gives you a sense of what we're doing on the configuration management side. I want to just give a quick shout out to one thing. If we go to the devices tab and we see all the devices in this tenant, we can search for one of them, which is a HoloLens. Intune supports enrolling the HoloLens device, sending the AR, MR apps to it, configuring Wi-Fi profiles, all that sort of thing. We have a whole set of functionality for shared devices, IoT devices, wearables, and we'll have many breakout sessions covering that as well at the office. We're going to wrap it up with one more quick demo, but first I just want to set this up with a quick slide. Many folks here are probably familiar with our autopilot service, but what I want to, in case you're not, I just want to give you a quick primer. We have a scenario we call modern provisioning. This is where you can have a device that comes up on its first boot, connects to our service, and gets provisioned with the applications and profiles and settings for your environment. And what you're seeing here is you can work with our OEMs and procure devices that become registered to your organization through the Autopilot service. Or you can use our Config Manager product to harvest the device IDs that are already in your company and register in the Autopilot service. But either way, when that device boots up for the first time or gets factory reset, that device will talk to our cloud. It will know that it's supposed to be your device in your environment, and it will get configured through AAD and Intune. So flipping back over to the console, I just want to show you quickly. Here is an example of using the Intune console to configure the Autopilot settings. So under Windows Enrollment, we have deployment profiles. We can then create a profile here. One of the new Autopilot scenarios, we'll give it a name, that we have is where you don't have a user-driven enrollment. So the scenario here is, let's suppose you have one of those new Intune device licenses for a digital sign. You want to power on the device, have it without any user interaction whatsoever, automatically get configured and provisioned for your environment. We would go ahead and say, set the settings for this one. Just go ahead and configure the settings, Shiv, so that there is no user interaction whatsoever. Everything's hidden. We chose the language for you, and we give the name of the device, a specific thing denoting that's a sign for Contoso or something like that. If we hit save here, we can then assign this enrollment profile to a group of devices that hasn't even joined the service yet. They're in the Autopilot service, right? And by doing so, then that's what connects the workflow so that the device comes up, talks to the Autopilot service, pulls down its settings, and just configures itself. So to give a little more color on this modern provisioning scenario, we have a customer who has been working very closely with us to deploy Autopilot functionality and modern provisioning in their environment. We're super excited to welcome James Dow, the Vice President for Royal Bank of Canada, to the stage. Thanks, James. Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So good morning, Ignite. Let's get some energy in the room. Let's wake this up here a little bit. We've seen a lot of interesting things here at many of the presentations we've looked at over the last couple of days. User experience is changing. Whether we start looking at what we're seeing on the desktop, the drive to mobility, the users now want something that's going to look and feel quantitatively different from what they're doing. However, we live on top of a giant bank. Do we have a clicker here? Thank you very much, sir. We live on top of a giant bank right now. 85,000 employees, 140,000 endpoints, $11.5 billion in net revenue last year. It's a big machine. It takes a lot to make a change in our environment. So we sit back and we have the standard suite of enterprise processes that we work through every day. One of the ones that I absolutely love is the process by which we onboard people. We hire people every day. We order them a machine. It comes from the machine through a value-add reseller, a VAR. It then goes to a service provider. The service provider takes it out of the box and blows away the operating system that was installed by the OEM and puts down the branded RBC environment. They then configure the RBC instance of the operating system, put it back in a box, and then ship it back out to my white glove service that now puts it back on the user's hands. Ship, debox, blow away, reinstall, rebox, ship. There's a lot of touching and all that. The mission that we were going after, the thing that we wanted to see was the quick little flow that Paul showed you there. I want to do ship direct to factory. I want to ship it to the user's home. Thanks for joining RBC. Welcome to the team. We're happy to have you on board. And here is your new laptop, mobile device, whatever it might be. Log in with your RBC provided ID and credentials, and you are 15 minutes to productivity. That's actually what we've been able to do at this point. So what have we actually done here? Oh, back up. We've replaced this entire value chain now that had 17 different players involved in delivering this experience to the user, and we've streamlined it down to 2 steps. We've done the Win 7 to Win 10 conversion as part of that to make that possible. We're moving the device management GPOs out of AD and over to MDM. We're implementing MAM for application control. We're starting to move to 0365. Journey is not yet complete, but we're starting down that road. And now we're looking at replacing the IBM product MAS360 with Intune on all the mobile devices. Now, this is just the simple, straight technical detail that we were after, but it actually takes a fair bit of internal soul searching when you think about what we're doing here, because as we remarked, the end user experience is changing, and what the end users want is going to be different. And we as an internal IT shop spend a lot of time, money, and energy making those experiences correct. I would challenge all of you to think about what would it take you in your environment to deliver the kinds of experiences we're talking about and that you're seeing on the screens today as you walk through the conference. Seamless behavior as you move from the mobile environment back to the desktop environment. Let me give you full device control. Let me protect your data. Let me give you simple, streamlined management interfaces to it. We're all really good at managing our environments. But here's the thing. There's a value chain that is involved in delivering the experience back to the user. When you spend all of the time below the water level, that the things the user can't see, and that's where your energy goes, you're not spending the time changing that user experience. At RBC, what we've tried to do is to partner with Microsoft to streamline that value chain, take an environment where 80% of our time, money, and energy was invested in things that the user never saw. Streamline that, make that simple, move up the chain, move all of our knowledge workers and our value workers up the chain, closer to the user, to drive that user experience. And what we discovered very, very quickly as we were going down this journey is we're not as good at it as we can rent this service from Microsoft. And at this point, you start realizing that much in the same way you saw the presentation if you're at the Transforming Your Workplace yesterday, where steam engines give way to electricity, at some point you have to look at your environment and you have to cannibalize your own business. And that's what we have done. As an internal IT professional, we looked at our own business and we said, we have a tremendous number of people lined up to go deliver a whole bunch of stuff, and we don't need to be doing that anymore. We can now buy that service and just rent that and move all of our value prop farther upstream. And that's what we've actually managed to do. So as you're driving through your environment and you're seeing what's out there, the thing that I would encourage you to think about now is that we all know that the enterprise view of the environment of the world is kind of like a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop, hard and crunchy on the outside, soft and chewy in the middle. That's gone. The perimeter is gone from a network and a security perspective. There is no DMZ anymore. Users want to work anywhere, everywhere. They want their data omnipresent, and they want their data protected. So what we're trying to do with this is we're actually dissolving the walls of the enterprise. We are allowing, whether you have a landed Windows experience, a Mac experience, an iOS experience, an Android experience, I don't care. We now have a management platform that allows us to operate outside the walls of the enterprise in a secure and protected manner and deploy that experience in a seamless way. So dissolve the walls of the enterprise, get very close to the user, drive that user experience, concentrate on what actually makes a difference for your user community. For us, that became, we're not worried about the internal management of these services and these components anymore. We can now just deploy and go and drive that value a little bit farther upstream. That's what we're doing, and I really want to commend the Microsoft team that we've been working with, because about 18 months ago, when we first came into them and said, this is our vision, this is what we want to do, we felt that we were leading them a bit. We were saying, this is the vision, here's where we want to get to. And this works, that doesn't work, et cetera. And we worked through that. 18 months later, we're actually having a great experience, and we had a really humbling moment where what we've realized is that the pace and speed of development and the acceleration of delivering new business experience and new customer experiences is actually getting farther ahead than we ever could have imagined possible. And we've now gotten to the point where instead of us dragging our partner along, our partner is now dragging us along and saying, we've got a new thing for you tomorrow, the next day, the next day. It's no longer a 6-month or a 1-year release cycle. Every 2 weeks we are seeing change and we're seeing things happen. So in terms of the whole vision that we started hearing about a couple of years ago when Satya took over, the cloud first, mobile first, it's becoming real. It's getting real. We're doing it, and we're having a lot of good fun doing it. And I thank you, Paul, and the team. So
Yeah, thank
you very
James.
much, sir.
Great.
There.
Appreciate it. Want to wrap
Yeah.
this up?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much, James. I have to say, it's always inspiring to hear how our customers are using our technology to take their businesses to another level. And James tells his story so well. So as you are thinking about walking out the door, here are the things we want you to keep top of mind and take with you. The key takeaways. Number one, our management is powered by the M365 cloud. We've created administrative experiences that are custom to the IT personas and roles that we see in your IT organizations. We deliver the best unified endpoint management solution across Windows, iOS, Android, Mac, and IoT. And we prioritize the end user experience to ensure that we are empowering your employees, your contractors, and your vendors. For those of you who are config manager customers today, and I know a lot of you are, you can get immediate value by attaching to Intune and the M365 cloud. And lastly, Intune offers a number of different solutions for different market segments, whether you be an enterprise, a small, medium business, whether you're deploying to first-line workers, or if you are working in an educational institution. This session has just given you a taste of all of the power and capabilities of Intune. There are over 40 sessions covering both Intune and SCCM here this week. Encourage you to attend those sessions to double-click. Perhaps you want to know more about Android. Perhaps you want to know more about Autopilot and the fast and easy ways we can provision your devices. Maybe you want to know more about iOS and Mac. But there's definitely a session for you. These are just a few of them that we're highlighting. Use your Ignite app to look up the others as well. And last but not least, we love feedback. We're so happy to have you here at Ignite. We want to make sure that every year this content is only improving and becoming more valuable and useful to you, so please submit your evaluation. Paul and I go through all of the feedback in detail. It's important to us. We want to know what you like. We want to know what you don't like. So let us know and be completely honest. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, everyone.